All right, guys, welcome to another video. And today's an exciting day because we're starting a brand new series here on JRM Action Figures. It's called The Collector's Corner. And this series is all about those collectors who are doing the right things out there and motivating people like me to collect more. And one of those individuals is with us right now. And you might know him as Legend Killer 23 or RKO 23. I know at home they know him as Chris. So what's up, man? How you doing today?
Chilling, man. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. It's going to be a good series. I can't wait to see all the other videos coming up.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you. And you being the first guest, it is inspiring to me, okay? Because you're one of the guys that I follow, one of the guys that I'm always looking for. And to be honest, compete with you because when you get something, I'm like, damn, I gotta go get it, man. That's fly, you know?
Thank me. That's how it started with me. It was watching other people's videos, and I was like, damn, I could do that. I could video. I could toy hunt. I'm not embarrassed to be in front of the camera, and I think that's what it is. If you feel like you're okay to be in front of video, you feel confident in yourself. Anybody could toy hunt. Anybody could do video. So this is a good, fun time.
That's right. That's right. And tell me when did you start it? How long you been doing this for?
So for just my wrestling stuff, I started last year in January. So this would be my 1 year anniversary of YouTube and Instagram. So last year, I just decided I've been watching wrestling for like 25 years already. So I just decided to start collecting wrestling figures. Before that, if you were able to see the back of this wall, you would see my Funko Pops, my Walking Dead, my Marvel, my DC. I was been collecting that for over 10 years. But then I was like, you know what? I'm really into wrestling and I've been into it. Let me start collecting the figures. And when I seen the way, those new elites started coming out with that True Effects, and I was like, man, I got to start collecting these. And it led to this. It just became an obsession. It's like an every week thing. It's constantly looking to see what's coming out, and it doesn't stop. They keep putting out products, so it makes it easy to go to the stores and get all the new stuff, but it's also challenging too. Comes with a lot of stress.
It does come with a lot of stress and a budget, with a lot of
But
budget because you spend a lot of money, you know.
absolutely.
And so you telling me that you've been watching wrestling since you were 25 years for 25 years now. Now tell me, do you remember the first wrestling action figure you started your collection with?
Well, for me, it was a lot of those, those, I don't know what they call them, LGNs or things like that. I had those back in the day, of course, when I was little. After I got like in my teenager years, I really didn't buy figures at all. I think it's different now because if you go to Instagram, you go to YouTube, anybody that's like 13, 14, 15, 16, they got a huge collection. But when I was that age, I didn't have that. I didn't buy action figures like that. It was more like basketball and playing sports and things like that. So when I was little, I had a lot of figures, like a lot of little figures, like G.I. Joe's was my favorite. Turtles was my favorite. There wasn't a lot of wrestling figures like it is today. So I remember those older LGN, those rubber figures that they had out back in the day. It was cool to have them, but I think what we got now is way better. The kids don't appreciate what we got now. Like it's
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah. Well, I started with the Hasbro's, man. That's what I started
Mhm.
with, the Hasbro's, but they're not part of my collection now. That's like you said when
Right.
I was little. But and when I was in my teenage years, just like you, I used to play basketball every day, dude. That was just be my thing. But
Absolutely.
how about the collection you have now? What was the one figure that you bought and made you start buying figures after figures?
Well, it was funny because I'm a big Seth Rollins guy, and that's my guy. That's my favorite wrestler on the current roster. My favorite wrestler of all time is Stone Cold, but my favorite wrestler on the current wrestlers is Seth Rollins. So I was working at a job, and I went into this store called like Burlington. You probably know because you're in Florida too. And I saw one for $10, and I was like, damn, this is cheap. Like this can really get easy to buy if that's all they cost. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that it was $20, $15, whatever. But I was like, I like this Seth Rollins, and it was the Rollins with the fire pants, which I have up there on the wall still. And then it started into I want to get every Rollins figure that ever came out. So then I got every Rollins figure that ever came out. I'm probably missing like two or three. And that was the one that I was like, man, I like the way the head scans look. They look, and that was True Effects, that figure. So once it went from there, it was just like, who else are my favorite wrestlers? Because what I buy and the way I collect is probably not the same that everybody does. There's people out there, as you know, that buy every figure that come out. They got to have every set that comes out. They got to have every series that come out. I only buy the people that I like. So I like Seth Rollins. I got a lot of Seth Rollins. I like AJ Styles. I got a lot of AJ Styles. I like Dolph Ziggler. I got a lot of Dolph Zigglers. It's just that whoever I'm invested in and that I watch, and nowadays we can follow, right? Because you think about kids back in the day when we watch wrestling, you couldn't follow Hulk Hogan on Twitter. You know what I mean?
No,
So
no.
now when I follow Seth Rollins and I follow, you know, Roman Reigns or Big E, when I see those people, I'm like, man, those guys are cool, man. I like them. I really invested in them. And that's why I got New Day, like Kofi's. I got like 8 Kofi's. Like I like Kofi Kingston. So that's why I buy his figures. But I just don't buy every set. And if you see me pick something up, it's because usually I'm getting it for someone else.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of times it's just my whole collection is just the people that I like. But I buy every single figure that they come out with. Like it don't make no sense to have 14 AJ Styles, but I got him because I like every attire he got. And that's just how I collect. People say, oh man, you only buy then the new stuff, the new stuff. Well, that's what I buy now because I can't go back and buy all the old stuff. It just costs too much and it'd be ridiculous. These figures cost $15 to $20. This is easy to get any of the new stuff. So that's how it started. That's where I'm at now. And that's how I'm probably going to keep going. I mean, I like the AEW figures. I think they're phenomenal. I've been collecting those since they came out. And there's a lot more to come, man. This year has a lot of stuff coming out already.
Yeah. With me, it basically started when Toys R Us was going out of business. When
Mhm.
Toys R Us was going out of business, I used to go to Toys R Us with my kids. Used to take him and just buy stuff for them. But I used to see this Macho Man from WrestleMania 3, and I was like, man,
Mhm.
I want to get that. And once they started going out of business, my wife was like, go get it. I was like, no, and she said, go get it, and I got it. And she says it was the worst mistake she ever made because ever
Right.
since I've been collecting, dude, and like Seth Rollins for you, for me, is the Macho Man. That was the man for me, all time great. I know your favorite of all time is Stone Cold. I've seen it on your videos, and that's
Yeah.
what was what Macho Man for me. So I got like 8 Macho Man Randy Savages, and
Yeah.
those are the ones. And I'm like you, I gotta get the ones that I really like. And if I have already a figure, somebody, and it's a similar figure, I'm not gonna buy that figure. I'm not gonna waste my money on it. But there has to
Right.
be something that catches my attention.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely. Go
let's
ahead.
let's focus on 2020 that just passed because this was a great year for toys collectors, for wrestling collecting.
It was a
What was
weird.
what was to you the best figure you found this year, whether it came out this year or not? What was the best figure that you found?
That's a hard question, man, because there's so much. Because remember, I started in January, so
Yeah.
when I started, I was pretty much buying some older figures, some newer figures. But I have something in mind. Definitely my Seth Rollins NXT figure. It's one of my favorite figures. I got that off. You guys know Macari. That's a great website to find like older figures. And when I started, when the pandemic started, like around March, I was buying a lot of stuff off of them and I was selling a lot of stuff on there. So it was like I would grab a couple extra figs, I would sell a couple, get some extra money, and then use that money to buy more figs. So it was kind of like when I seen that Seth Rollins, it was going for like 45, $50. I got somebody down to $28. Brand new in the box, mint, clean. And I was going to open it anyway. I could have bought it loose, but I'm one of those guys that I like to buy the figure and I want to take it out the box. I don't want nobody else touching it. I never really buy loose figures because I just don't like to. But that Seth Rollins figure, it was so clean. It was so nice looking. The head scan wasn't true effects, but it was the attire was on point. The belt was on point. He was the first NXT champion. So I figured if I was going to start a Seth Rollins collection, I need to have that first one to do that whole from first to all the way to now. So that was that figure that I got this year that I was really happy with. There's a lot of figures that I got that I was happy with, but that was one of the big ones.
I feel you, man. I feel you. It's been to me it was a Hulk Hogan. I got Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 3 also. And it was autographed. I bought it at the Hulk Hogan store. So,
Oh,
that was
Hogan's
pretty
beat.
cool. Yeah. The B shop, in Orlando. So it was pretty cool to get that figure. And now let's go the other way. What was the most disappointing figure that you found?
Let's see. Disappointing. I gotta take a look because honestly, there's nothing here that I just like, damn, I don't wish I didn't buy it. Is it if I'm not feeling it, I won't buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I can't say that there's anything on my wall in my collection that I wish I didn't buy.
Okay.
Um, that's a hard question to answer, and I can't answer it because everything I have, I wanted to buy. There's a lot of figures that surprise me, like for example, the Dustin Rhodes figure, which I have right here. I did some pictures of this on Instagram, and with this figure right here, I was really surprised about how detailed this figure was from all around. The tattoos, everything. I posted some pictures online. A lot of people liked it. I wasn't going to pick up this figure. I really didn't get it. I had the whole case. I put this one back. I was like, I'm not getting it. And then I got it in hands and I went back to the store and was able to find it because it wasn't too hard to find. And it looks great. This is one of those that like really you're like, oh man, I might not get that because I don't really love it. But then when you look at it and you take it out the box, that's why for me it's hard to keep everything mock. Like I got a few things mock here and there, only my top favorite figures, but everything else is loose because I need to see things like this, you know, like it says natural on the back. It's got his daughter's tattoo. These are the things you don't see until you actually crack them open. So that's one of the things that got me excited.
I'm with you. And even when I saw the Dustin at the store, when I saw it, I knew it was special figures. I was like, even my toy hunt, I said, this is a sick figure because
Yeah,
it's a nice figure. I
definitely.
do have a disappointing figure, in my opinion. I want to know because I know you have this figure, if you agree with me or not. And that is the Angela Dawkins Elite that came for the Street Profits. I don't know if it's just my figure, but the knees, that double
Yeah.
jointed knees that they have, I don't like that on him. It's hard to stand him up, and I think the figure is nice, but just that the knees just kill me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a weird figure, but it didn't disappoint me just because I like the overall package, right? So
Yeah.
I love the Street Profits, one of the best tag teams out there right now, just gimmick wise. They're fun to watch, they're great, they're exciting. And I've seen those guys, you know, being in Florida, we get the opportunity to go to NXT, right? I'm sure you've been to a
Plenty,
couple.
plenty.
I've plenty of NXTs where I remember 3 years ago seeing those guys when it was just Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. They didn't even have Street Profits yet. And they were so energetic. They came, they took pictures with everybody. It was dope. Then when I see their figures 3 years down the line, I'm like, man, that's really cool. So it's one of those where I could look past the knees because I want it in my collection. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why it bothers me, but it bothers me. But like you said, it's a almost a perfect figure because it's a nice looking figure. I love the jacket. I love everything. The true effects. I love everything. It just for some reason can't get over those knees.
Yeah, they made him too big. Like he's bulky, but if you see him now, he's skinnier now.
He is.
So
He
if he
got
gets
away.
another figure down the line, I feel like they got to use a different body mold. If they use the same body mold, it's gonna look weird the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I know everybody's been doing the top 10, for 2020 figures. I haven't done mine. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm still getting some of those figures, and I want to be
Right.
able to see all of them. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do different categories. So I'm gonna do a video of my top 10 tag teams, my top 10 AEW guys, my top 10 women's, figures and legends and males because there were so many that came out, man. To me, it's really hard just to wrap it in, to 10. So
No, that's good. That's a good idea for sure. I only did top 12. I did a video I posted on my channel on Legend Killer 23. Got to promote that channel. That top 12 was basically, I mean, I bought over 170 figures. So you can't wrap that up into, like you said, into top 10, right? But
yeah,
I just did 12 figures that I thought were the most anticipated also. And that when I got them, I wasn't disappointed. Like The Fiend. The Fiend was on there. You know what I mean? That was one of the top figures of last year, Elite 77. Even the Ultimate Edition to me wasn't as much hype as the first Fiend. It was the first one. I was on Instagram like, yo, I'm gonna get 10 of those, and I ended up getting like 5. And it was just a great figure. There was like the women's figures like Io Shirai. That was one of my favorite figures that I got this past year.
yeah, that was
I couldn't even find that figure in the store. I finally hunted it down at a Target. It took me like 3 or 4 weeks to find it in stores because out here we're slow. Like we get everything mad slow. And when I found that figure, I was like, wow, this figure looks great. Took it out the box, just the jacket details. It probably has the best soft goods jacket at any figure that came out this year. The
yeah.
best jacket. And that's the type of stuff that I put in my top 10.
I
My
agree. And
top.
it's funny. And it's funny because we both live in Florida and
Mhm.
you talk about how slow we are getting stuff, but it seems like you get your stuff weeks before me, man. I'll be out there in the stores almost every day. I'm like, damn, why can't I get these things? And it gets frustrating sometimes, but
Mhm.
where is your favorite place to get your figures?
I mean, there's really only two. You know what I mean? It's just Walmart and Target. To be honest with you, they both can be hit or miss no matter where you go. So
Yeah.
for me, I have good. I guess people say good luck at Targets because they see me like I scooped up the Royal Rumbles, right? I had it probably first or second before anybody else, in Florida. Maybe I don't know. Nobody else posted them,
Yeah.
and it was the same thing with the AEWs. I was the first one to find an AEW shipper in Florida. I didn't see nobody else post about it in Florida at all. Maybe somebody found it, but they don't post about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just dumb luck, man, sometimes. And a lot of it has to do with checking DCPIs, being aggressive, calling the stores, checking BrickSeek. Because I was telling one of my guys today, another guy that lives in Tampa that I talked to also, that I talked to you as well. And there's another guy that lives in Hialeah, Florida. And there's just so many guys in Florida that go, and they're like, yo, I don't know how you get it. You go to the store and you get them. I'm like, listen, man, if they get one case, somebody got to get it. If I don't get it, somebody else going to get it. If you don't get it, somebody else going to get it. And that's the problem with this distribution, man. If you send one case to Orlando, whatever the biggest Walmart is in Orlando, if you send one case, there's probably 30 to 40 people that go to that same store. You wouldn't even think, but they do. And that's what happens everywhere. I'm sure it happens to you too.
Yeah, Orlando's huge. I was lucky. I found the AEW guys, at Walmart. They were still in the box. So I was able on 3 full boxes. And I was hoping I could get that MJF chase. I couldn't get anything.
Same here.
Talking about, now that we talk about AEW, one surprising figure for me is the Pentagon Jr. That is a nice figure, man.
A very good figure.
I'm really
top. I mean, I got to pull it out now that you mentioned it, because I have my AEWs back here because I haven't made a shelf for them.
Yeah.
I'm planning on this weekend to add some more shelves to my wall because I don't have enough shelf space. So I kind of got these with my Funko Pops, which I still collect too. But I mean, this figure, for people to take a look at this as you're watching this video, if you don't have this by now, the figure is amazing. Just detail wise, the attire. I wish they would have did the black and red, but I like the white and black. But the finger, we should have got the other head scan, which we didn't. But just all around, man. Yeah, this is definitely right now probably top 2 figure out of all the AEWs. For me, number 1 is Moxley. For number 2, this is definitely Pentagon.
Really?
This is one of the best figures.
For me, it's Jericho, then Pentagon. I love that Jericho figure.
Yeah, you're right. That Jericho is fire.
But that John is also nice. The Series 2, you can see the difference between Series 1 and Series 2. Series 2, they're way, better looking, and the colors, even the way when you feel them, it's different figures.
Yeah. I think eventually we're going to get those repainted Series 1s, but I think having Series 1 in the original form is going to be worth more because those will never be out again. If they remake Series 1 again down the line, you're going to be like, man, I never got those regular white ones. And just for comparison, obviously, there is a big difference, and you've seen it, but for the people that are watching, there's a big difference in that skin tone, man. This guy looks white like bread. And white people white already, but Hispanics, we a little bit darker, but this guy is like,
it's too much.
He's too light. And when we get a better version of this, you've seen probably the UK exclusive and the other ones that came out. I think the Chase is a better color too, but this one is white for sure.
So, what figure are you looking forward to getting right now? The most are the ones that are coming up.
There's not too much I don't have right now. I'm pretty much all caught up on Elite Series. So just for WWE alone, I think I only need The Rock because I wanted to get that to complete Series 81, I believe it is. Then 82, I'm looking for Keith Lee. I think that's one of the best figures to come out. A lot of people got it already because they order on Ringside. I'm not a Ringside guy. I never really order Ringside unless it's exclusives. But that Keith Lee is fire. I think is one of the best, especially the Chase. The Legend Series 9 that's coming out in mid-February is going to be a good one to hunt down for sure. I need the Undertaker, $1 Million Man. I need for sure. That's one of my favorite wrestlers from back.
Both figures.
The Chase is, with the gray and purple. It's fire. Or is it pink? Gray and pink, I think.
It's gray.
But the Elite Series, the Unrivaled Series 3, which I'm surprised we haven't found. Nobody said they found Series 3 in stores. Only a couple people, but nobody in Florida said they found it yet. I need that Darby Allin. I think that Darby Allin is probably going to be number 2 out of my favorites because if you look at the people that did videos, just the jacket, the skateboard, the attire, the head scan, all of it is on point. And of course, I want Orange Cassidy too. But out of that series, I think that's all I'm getting is that Darby Allin and the Orange Cassidy. Yeah. I'm not excited for anybody else. Series 4 is going to be fire, and that's what I'm looking forward to. If you saw my post on Instagram on RKO for Life 23, I posted the Santana figure. Did you see it?
Yes.
It's Puerto Rican flag. That's dope.
That's sick.
That is sick. With the bandana and everything. Oh. So I saw that today posted online. I had to post it. I was like, yeah, some of these people don't care. People don't care about Puerto Ricans, but we do. You know what I mean? We do because I'm actually Puerto Rican, but just to have a figure with a flag, like it's gonna around his neck, is gonna look sick. So that's one of my most anticipated figures. I'm not even excited.
I was excited when MJF was wearing this stuff for Puerto Rico too.
Yeah, that was dope. That was
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So you're from Puerto Rico. You're Puerto Rican. What part of Puerto Rico?
Well, I was born here, but my mom Puerto Rican, and actually my dad is Dominican. So I'm half and half. I know I don't look it, but I was born in New York, so I lived in the Bronx all my life. I just moved to Florida 4 years ago. So, but my parents and my family all weren't born here. They were all born in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. So,
And it's funny because my dad's from Puerto Rico, my mom's from Dominican Republic. so,
mhm,
so
that's how.
yeah.
Hmm,
But I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Then I moved to
okay,
Cleveland, Ohio. Then I'm over here now in Florida. I've been here for 8 years.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Cleveland. That's a different place. Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of Puerto Ricans there, dude. A lot of Puerto
That's
Ricans.
probably a good story to how you made it to Cleveland. How you made it to Cleveland?
Oh, my parents were divorced and my mom just found out about a job there and her friends lived there. So we just moved there.
Moved
But
to Cleveland.
I went to high school there and I didn't speak no English, dude. And I went there and everybody spoke Spanish. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was excited. So it was a cool experience, man. That's got the Cavaliers here always, representing my team. So
LeBron.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's out here in Florida too. If you know Florida, you know Kissimmee. And I used to work in Kissimmee, and Kissimmee is a huge Puerto Rican neighborhood. Like
Yes.
everywhere you go in Kissimmee, you got to speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I worked in a store where I had to speak a little bit of Spanish. You know what I mean? Here and there. I didn't have to speak it fluently, but I had to speak it when I had to for customers. And Kissimmee, when they had that hurricane, remember in Puerto Rico, everybody migrated to either Miami or Kissimmee.
Yep.
And that's what brought the business up. And I think it kind of went back. People went back home. People came back and forth. But yeah, I mean, that's the culture, man. Seeing those figures with those type of flags and stuff like that, we might not see another figure like that for a long time. So
No,
that's
no,
like, I might get 2 or 3 of those.
that is special. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm getting mines. And
And the
and
Ortiz.
yeah. And let me tell you, man, if you never had some real Puerto Rican food, you want to go to Kissimmee or Tampa. Those are the spots right there. So
They got all the little chimney places.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So getting back to the figure, I want you to do a challenge if you can. I don't know what you have back there, but I want you to get me a figure you think I don't have.
I figured out how many years you've been collecting?
When Toy Story
Just
started closing, couple like 3 years, I
years.
would say, but I don't think I have as much as you because I really
Okay.
started getting serious on it like a year and a half ago.
Okay. A figure that you don't have. Let's see. I gotta look at my wall. So give me a
Go ahead.
second.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Let me look at my wall. Does it count if I show you a custom?
No,
Nah,
that don't count. You can't.
All right, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite figures that I got.
Okay.
I don't know if you got it, but this is one of my favorite figures.
Cool.
This is my guy right here, Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? You got me. I don't have that one. I
This
do
is
not
one of
have that Dolph Ziggler.
This is one of the nicest attires. Remember when he had the blonde, slick hair back? I mean,
Yeah.
this was before True Effects, and you can see the effects on his head.
Yeah.
It's really the over it on the back, the DZ on the front, the boots. For me, I had to track this down on Macari because I wanted to get some older Zigglers.
Yeah.
And I got this $15 loose, and I'm not even mad. It came with the shirt and everything, but I just don't like the shirts because of the rubber. But the
And
wrist tape,
sometimes you gotta get loose. That's the only way you find them.
for sure. So this is one of those figures that you probably, like you said, you don't. But maybe you're not a Ziggler guy. I don't know. I'm a Dolph Ziggler guy. So
I'm a Dolph Ziggler guy. I figure I don't have it. Let me see if I'm gonna be honest with you. I cheated because I'll be watching your videos and I know 2 figures that you probably don't have. Hold on a minute.
okay, that's a good
Let me
challenge.
get you
Let's see.
back now. All right, again, I'm gonna say I cheated, okay? So I know. So right here,
I definitely don't have.
Jerry
Not yet.
King Lawler, figure. I have this. Let me focus it a little bit because it's focused on my eyes. So there's a Jerry King Lawler figure right here.
I love
And I got something else here that I know you don't have because you mentioned in your videos
I need that.
that
Yeah.
Brian Pillman. So I
Now,
have
did you
Tony Steve Austin. I have them both.
have that from when it came out, or you got it recently?
No. I got it when it came out. I bought it. Oh, you know where I bought this? To be honest with you, I bought this when Toys R Us went out of business. I don't know if you knew, but Toys
Yeah.
R Us sold all their toys to Five Below. And I used
Yeah.
to get all the elites for $5 or below, and I got this at $5 below.
Yeah, see, that was before I started collecting, because when Toys R Us was closing, I was near the Florida Mall, and
Yeah.
the Florida Mall had that big Toys R Us there, and they had Undertakers, like 50 of them. They had all types of figures, and I just wasn't collecting at that time. So if I would have collected at that time, I would have so much more. But I wasn't collecting at the time. But that Flying Brian Pillman, I definitely need. I know I could get it somewhere down the line. I'll wait till the heat dies down on it. People will sell it for like $20, 25.
Definitely.
But the King. Now, the King is one of, now, I don't know if you know this, but my wife watches wrestling with me. She's into wrestling just like I am. We both got our own little collections, you know what I'm saying? And we've been, you know, it's hard to find somebody that, you know, you get with, obviously you married and you have kids, but when you have somebody that likes the same things that you like, it makes it so much easier. So
Of course.
her being watching wrestling, her favorite is the King, believe it or not. She's got pictures with him because when we were in New York, we used to go to Comic-Con. And Comic-Con here, there'd be, we met Mick Foley, we met Hurricane Helms, we met the King. So she's got pictures with all of them, and so do I. And that's one of her favorite characters. And that King is coming. I'm just waiting for Amazon to drop it for 19.
Yeah, and it's a nice figure. I was really surprised. And also another figure that I bought with that one that is really nice is the Baron Corbin, the King Baron Corbin. I have that one too, and nice figures. I did get those from Ringside Collectibles. I try not to buy it from Ringside much, but some of those I wanted to get them because I think that King might be a hot sale. So so I wanted to get ahead. So yeah, so that's what I have. And do you have any figures that it might came out back in the day or something you like, then I wish I had that figure?
There's a lot that I would go back and get. If you say just elites, for me it's just elites. I really don't hate. I hate Jacks. I know people love those Jacks. There's people that's hardcore Jacks collectors. I don't love them, man. I love the elites. I like the way everything about them. And I think if I go back and look at that, you know, I kind of wish I would have got a lot of CM Punks. That was one of my favorite wrestlers back in the day too. I don't have not one CM Punk in my collection just because I'm not willing to spend $50, $60, $70. If they re-release some CM Punks, yeah, I'm gonna get them all. I'll get them 3-4 times over. But CM Punk has some really good figures. The Undertaker has some good figures. Shawn Michaels had some good figures that I don't have. So there's a lot of figures like that I wish I can go back. And I'll tell you one figure that I really do like. And again, I only buy people that I like.
Yeah.
So TJ Perkins, remember TJP?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite wrestlers, honestly, and I still watch him now. And when he came out in WWE, I was super excited because I like the character. I like him in general. And I never got his figure. Never got his figure. I know it was in Toys R Us exclusive, but I wasn't buying back then. So when I went to go buy it, it's reselling for like $50, $60.
Yeah, and even when I got to it, they didn't have it. I don't have a TJP either. I think for me, I'm a really old school guy, so I like a lot of the old school stuff because they don't. I mean, if you have, for example, AJ Styles, I love AJ Styles, but I know they're gonna keep releasing AJ Styles. So when I look at old figures. So there's 3 figures in particular that four that I would love to have. One is the LOD when they're red spikes. I don't have those. Also, Rick the Model Martel. That's a figure that only came out once. I hope they bring me back in the Legend series, but that's a nice figure. And the Macho Man from Elite Legends, or Elite 4. The old Macho Man is the Macho King. And that is a nice figure. And one more to cheat is the Bam Bam Bigelow. The one that comes with a fire suit. I know his outfit's all fire, but he came with like a vest on it.
Yeah.
And that figure is hard to find.
A lot of those, you could get them. Honestly, you could go buy them today. It's just that they're going to cost money. Especially Legion of Doom. Both of them together, probably like $120, $130 together.
The Macho Man is $350, dude.
That's a lot of money.
That's why I'm not
20 more figures. That's why I don't do it. I just wait. You know, I'm a cheap guy. Anybody would tell you if you watch my videos, I price match. I look for the deals. I wait for stuff to go on discount. You have to be. I mean, I'm not rich, so to buy 10 figures in a month is not easy. It has to do with a lot of selling, reselling, and just trying to cut down on the price. Because for $16 at $15.97 at Walmart's is a great deal. I don't know how people go to Ringside and do, you know, $25 plus shipping. But then they buy the whole set, $160. They buy it twice. I mean, those are ballers, man. I don't got that. So.
Oh yeah. what I do ringside, I wait till they have their deals. Like they had a New
Yeah.
Year deal, and a lot of these elites that I bought were $19.99, which is the same price as Target. And then I got the free shipping because I got over $50 that I spent. So
Yeah.
that's why I bought
That's
them. I'm not gonna spend the $30 on them. Believe me.
that's worth it.
And for example, that Eric from the Viking Raiders, everywhere
Yeah.
I went was more expensive than Ivar. I
I
was
know.
able to find it at Ringside Collectibles for the same price, so I bought at Ringside Collectibles. Like looking for deals, like you do, you know. That's what we do.
That's one of my favorite figures too. To be honest with you, Viking Raiders. I know a lot of people were hyped about him, but then when Ivar got injured, they took him off TV. So for everybody gets hyped because they're on TV. So
Yeah.
when someone's on TV, they hot, right?
Yeah.
But when they're not on TV, that's why Ivar was so cheap, $15. I got it for 15 from Walmart, and I got Eric from Target for 15 because I price matched it. So I ended up getting him for 15 anyway.
You're the
But
king
it's just
of that,
finding
man.
him.
You're the king of price matching. I try,
I just-
and I know you have told me how to do it, and I try, and it worked a couple of times, but now they be like, no, we're not price matching at it. Like, come on. You just some people, you go to these Targets, and some of these people that work there, the cashiers, they think that the owner, like you cheating on their money. It says price
Yeah.
match, so
I mean, they don't got no. To be honest with you, if anybody has questions about price matching, they don't have no rule that you can't buy a certain figure on $15. There's nowhere is written. So whenever they tell me no, I go show me where it says that, and they go, okay, I'll give it to you. Like they just tired of fighting, and I don't want to fight with them, but that's their policy. So
exactly.
it is what it is.
Exactly.
But the only thing I didn't get a chance to do is price match these AEW figures. I gotta figure out a way how to do that.
Yeah. That's gonna be a little difficult because they're not out there like that. So
Exactly.
that's the problem. Well, man, hey, we're gonna cut it here because I know you have stuff to do, and I
Yes, sir.
appreciate your time, man, and look forward because we're gonna keep dropping this, and everybody follow him at subscribe to his channel, Legend Killer 23, and follow him on Instagram at RKO for Life. Right? Did I say it right? For
Yeah.
Life 23. My bad. It's in the bottom, so you guys know in the video how that goes. And this one of the best collectors. Anything else you gotta say, Chris?
Not much, man. I really appreciate you giving me the time to speak. This is your platform, so it's a good idea. I've done this on Instagram a couple times where I interviewed some of the big toy hunters as well, and it's just good for everybody, man. People need to know. People want to ask questions, and people want to know the info on where you get stuff. So keep doing that thing for sure. Keep collecting for sure. Let me know if you get stuff and I get stuff and you need something for sure, because we're not far, so things can get shipped like that. All right, bro.
All right, bro. Take care. Okay. So it'll be
Sure.
next
I
time.
appreciate
So, peace.